Okay, so we're going to do some troubleshooting with your Crazy Liberty airbrush. So first of all, when the light is on, it means it's got power coming to it. No lights means the compressor's not on. So when you press it on, and there's 3 lights, that's on the setting high. But the reason why there's no air is it needs to be turned on here because the air is being blocked. It's got the air built up. But when you press this button here, it allows the air to travel through, collect ink, and go out. So one thing that people are doing wrong is they're just moving this. It actually is a button. If you look. So you can do, you know, fairly detailed up close or more general spraying farther back. So where you will experience problems is if you don't realize that and you're not doing anything. Now when it's on the 3 lights, you press this to go down to 2. That's simply a lower. So that would be if you want less color going out, so you're doing detail work maybe. Let's go down one more. Look at that. See, I'm noticing that on high it seemed to be more more precise. Let's try that again. Well, maybe not. How close did I go? I don't remember. Alright, so some of the problems people will have, you want to make sure that you clean this out. So I've got a little bit of ink back in there still. This is water-based ink, so it's really easy. You can totally just dump out what you have. It also comes with this nice little dropper in the case, so you can take some water and run water through it. That would be for, yeah, it's on high. That would be for wanting to clean it out between colors. You could actually take this and run water right in the tub, and then I generally will run rubbing alcohol through afterwards just to make sure there's nothing ever drying in there. Now, this is your adjustability back here. I like to take it right apart and show everybody how it works. So you unscrew this and unscrew this back end, and in here, this little tightener right here, this is gripping onto this little pin, for better choice of words. That pin is that one you see running in there. So it basically, when you pull it back, it's pulling back from this tip. Let's see if we can get it to focus this close. And it will stick out and block the hole, or you pull it back. So when you're pushing this or pulling this back, it's unblocking that hole, allowing the ink to come out the end. So you can completely remove it for cleaning, which is great. One thing though, if you're having trouble with it, that you're pressing the button and pulling down and you're not getting enough, you're not getting air coming through, or you're not getting ink coming through, what you want to look for is that this is pushed in but not shoved in too far. Then you slightly tighten this. Let's slightly tighten this, because what you want it to do is you want it to be able to move it. See, it's not gripping it. There. So did you see the difference in that? When that was looser and it was moving, see how this is just moving but it's not gripping this? That you want this to move because it has to back out of there. So this has to be snug enough that it's moving that piece back, because it's pulling it out of here, allowing the ink to go through, allowing the air to suck it through. So that's what this does. This covers it, and this is actually attaching onto here, and it's a way of adjusting it. So you don't have to remove the whole thing. With other brushes, you had to always unscrew that to adjust it. So I typically, if I'm having troubles, I will play with it while it's got this end off, just so that I can make sure it's working good. Let's put some color in here so we can see what we're doing. And then, so I've got nice, it's spraying good. I'm just out. So there's no issues there. So that means I can put the end back on and put this end back on. Now you want to be careful in how much you adjust this, because you're in effect adjusting that. If I was to screw it in all the way really tight, I'll have a bit of a hard time. See, I'm not getting any color. because it's too tight. It can't pull back on the pin. There, I'm getting a little bit of color. So you have some adjustability there. Again, I've got no color in here hardly. So you can play around with it a little bit. My watered down color. And then when you're done airbrushing, make sure that there's no ink left in here. This is a water based, so it's not going to, you know, ruin your airbrush per se if it's not taken out within seconds. But I actually would probably prefer to take this and completely either rinse it out with water enough and then some rubbing alcohol. Because if you have stuff down in there where that pin is, it's going to dry and it's going to stick. So you can take apart this whole entire thing. All these little tips all come off to make sure it's all clean. And you can, as long as you finish with rubbing alcohol, you can make sure everything's all nice and clean and the way it should be. So there you go. There is your troubleshooting for your Crazy Liberty airbrush set and inks. Have fun.